Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hello, hello.
Hi, teacher.
Hello, guys. Good evening. How are you?
Teacher.
Excellent, teacher. And
Hello.
you?
Thank you for us.
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Hello, hello. All right, guys. So we have 9 students connected now, but we need to start right away. So let's begin our class, and then after I explain to you and give you all the information, after that, I will check attendance, okay? Because we still have some students missing for connection. So let's start. I will give you the dates, important information, and after that, I will check attendance. I will check the list, okay? So let's start this new level B2.4. Okay, let's see. So first of all, well done, guys. In the exams, I see some good results. So we are improving our level. And we still have some maybe problems with the listening and also in the reading part a little bit. But overall, the results on the exam were good, okay? So we're going to start this new level B2.4. This is our class number 1. So let me show you the agenda for today. So we're going to give feedback on the exam B2.3. We're going to share the cycle information, so the grades, important dates, information about the project, and also about Moodle. And then we start Unit 8. So we will continue working on our book. We will see a video, watch a video about types of family, a little discussion. We will check the vocabulary on point 3, page 77, and finally a listening and writing activity. So that is what we have programmed for today. Let's start by checking the exam to give you some feedback about it. Again, as I told you, we are going to check the attendance a little bit later, okay? So let's check the feedback for the exam, and then after that, we will check attendance, okay? So let me share it here on the screen. Okay, can you see the screen with the exam's answers? Over here?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, all right. So let's start checking. We had the first part, it was the listening exercise. So we had to listen to different speakers, to different people talking, and then decide what was the correct answer. So in the first situation, we hear 2 friends talking about attending a motor racing event. So they agreed that the best thing was the atmosphere. The best thing about this competition, this race, was the atmosphere, not the facilities, not the competitors, but the overall atmosphere, okay? Then we have number 2, a football coach talking about a match. He thinks that the team lost because they lacked concentration. Okay, that was the correct answer. Number 3, you hear 2 people talking about a computer game. Why does the boy dislike it? Because it's expensive. Okay, that is the main reason why he doesn't like it, is because it's expensive, right? Then you hear a woman talking about judging a poetry competition. What surprised her about this was how many poems some people wrote. They talked about how the participants wrote several poems to participate in the contest, okay? So that is what she found surprising. Number 5 is you hear a young man talking about traveling alone for the first time. How did his parents react to this idea? They were helpful, so they helped him with everything he needed. Number 6, you hear part of a talk. So in Spanish, a charla, a talk by a nurse. And what is she doing? That's the question. She was outlining or defining the good and the bad points of this job. Okay, so that is the main purpose of that part of the talk was to define or outline the good and the bad of the job. Number 7 was you hear a man talking about a long distance journey that he made, and he traveled by motorbike. So in this case, it wasn't explicit that they mentioned motorbike, but he says that he didn't want to travel by bus, stopping in every like a place and so on. And also he talks or gives something that implies that he was in a motorcycle, that he got cold and he needed a jacket, something like this. Okay, so the answer was not explicit, but we could infer by the information given that he was traveling by motorbike. And number 8, you hear two friends talking about listening to the radio. What is the girl's opinion? That she learned something. It was not particularly entertaining for her, but she learned new information. She learned something from it. Okay? All right, that was the first part of the listening. Now let's check the second part, okay? In this part, we had to take notes because the information is given very fast, and well, we have to adjust, so take notes and then read it so the information matches with the sentence that we are given, okay? So the first one, let's say number 9 here, to South Island on something called the green bus, okay? So she went on green bus or the green bus. The first part of Grace's journey took her along the west coast. So I took this answer as valid. West coast, only coast, or the west, okay? So these 3 were valid answers. West coast, west, or coast, okay? She took a day trip to a place called Kaikoura. She particularly wanted to see dolphins. Some of you wrote sea life. This was very general, okay? So the question was particularly. She mentions all sea life, sharks, maybe whales, I don't remember. But she particularly wanted to see the dolphins, okay? So that was the answer in this part. She kept in touch with a friend from Japan. Some students wrote in Spanish, Japón. Okay, so be careful with that. The word is in English, Japan. Grace took her own bicycle or bike to New Zealand, so she didn't need to hire one. She took her bicycle or bike. Number 14, it was the name of the company. So this we had to take exactly from the audio. It was Adventure Tours. That was the name. No other names, okay? Adventure Tours. Number 15, she had to visit the hospital because she injured her foot. In this case, we had some confusion. I saw many answers with shoulder. She said she hurt her shoulder, or that she had something on her shoulder, but it wasn't a big deal. But then she had to go to the hospital because of her foot, okay? So the shoulder was no big deal, no big problem, but the foot was, okay? So that was the answer. Number 16, yes. Grace bought a wooden mask, una máscara de madera. This was the answer. Some of you wrote souvenirs, gifts. No, the exact answer was mask or a wooden mask. Number 17 was the name of the hostel. It was the Lakeside Grace. Okay, the Lakeside, okay? And then Grace plans to go walking or walking around. That was the activity that she wanted to do. Walking around with her friends when she visits North Island. Okay? So how did you find this part, guys? It was difficult? It was easy for you? Confusing? No opinions?
No, teacher.
Nope. Okay. No comments? Well, let's continue then. So that was the listening part. Then we had the reading part. Here we had a long document, an article in which we had to select the correct sentence to complete the the phrase, right? So in the first paragraph, Ash was surprised to discover that Tyler, so we had to interpret the information from the text to interpret it, right? So she discovered that Tyler has been admitted to hospital. This was the answer. Number two, she felt keen that he shouldn't see her. What's the meaning of this? So she didn't want him to see her. Okay, she preferred that he shouldn't see her. Okay, that's the meaning of this sentence. Number three is it. We are asked for the word it. What is the meaning of it in the paragraph? It was referring to a conversation. Okay, the word it meant the conversation. When Tyler noticed her, she felt concerned about her appearance. She said, I didn't look at myself in the mirror before I went out, something like that. She was worried, concerned about her appearance to Tyler, okay? Number five, the answer is here. So after meeting Tyler, Asha felt curious about his current life, okay? She felt curious. And number six, it was that this phrase drew a blank. This means that Beth had left no messages. So there were no messages, so she drew a blank, okay? That was the meaning of this phrase. So that's the first part of the reading. Well, then the second part, it was a bit more challenging. We had long text and we had to select the sentence to complete the text immediately, right? So we had to read and from the context, choose the sentence that was the most appropriate to continue with the idea, to flow with the ideas, okay? So I'm not going to read the whole sentence, but I'm going to give you the answer so you have the information, okay? So for number 7 was letter F. What this meant in effect was that she was able to train full time. She was accepted on the elite sportsman program. So she was training full time. Now that was her job. For number 8, losing, which took her into the flyweight category, required great determination. That's because in order to reach the target, she had to totally rethink her lifestyle. So we are talking about her determination and her efforts, okay? She had to rethink her lifestyle. Number 9, Lucy wore a new titanium-based sport clothing range designed to improve the circulation and need recovery. Here is mentioned in the text that her mom works in a big department store. Department store is something like Falabella, okay? So clothing, we have shoes, we have perfume, all of this. So this is a department store. Her mom worked there. So Lucy had access to this kit, okay? And she had an advantage because of that. So having access to this space age training kit was certainly an advantage. Number 10, we approach it as a skill and point scoring exercise rather than as a fight. That's why I've always regarded it as thinking sport. So we have it's a skill and a point scoring exercise more than a fight. That is why it requires thinking. okay, to score points. And finally, we have number 11. Lucy is quick to point out that women have been competing in martial arts such as Taekwondo and Judo for years. Nobody complained about women taking part in those events, so we have it clear is referring to the other sports, Taekwondo and Judo, when it was introduced, okay? So here it was very important for us to take the context, the text, before and after to place the sentences correctly, okay? So that was the reading part. Again, if you have any questions, comments that you want to make while we are giving the feedback, you're more than welcome to do it, okay? Okay, in this part, we had the open-close exercises. Remember, we have practiced this in some occasions during class. So you're given a word, and then you have to use that word to complete the sentence. Sorry, guys. Complete the sentence without changing the word that is given to you. And without changing the meaning of the sentence, okay? So what happens here is that sometimes you use the word without changing it, but in the way that you use it, it changes the meaning of the sentence. So that is also an incorrect answer. All right, sorry guys. So let's see how we had to complete these sentences in this way. We haven't arranged a date for the wedding yet. So it means that a date for the wedding hasn't been arranged yet or has not been arranged yet, okay? Number 2, they will have given him the news by now, and the word was told. So this, in this case, we had to use the present perfect, remember? By a time in the future, we are connecting it to another time also in the future. He will have been told the news by now. Para este momento ya le habrán dado la noticia, okay? He will have been told the news by now. Not he will be told, he was told, okay? No, he will have been told the news by now. Number 3. Did we send that letter to Mr. Thomas? And the word was. Do you know if that letter was sent? So this is passive voice. The letter was sent to Mr. Thomas. Okay. Number 4. People rarely appreciate this musician's talent. In this case, we had to use the negative inversion. Remember this topic? Rarely do people appreciate this musician's talent. Some of you wrote, people do not appreciate this musician's talent. In this case, you are changing the sentence because it says rarely. So this gives that sometimes it is appreciated. Very like scarcely few times, but it is. If we say people do not appreciate it, so it means that it never happens, okay? So we couldn't change the meaning of the sentence like that, okay? So we had to use the word rarely. And the last one, you can't inform the staff about the imminent changes. And the word was circumstances. Under no circumstances, you are giving a prohibition here. Under no circumstances can you inform the staff about the imminent changes? Okay. So these were the correct answers for the first writing part. Okay. And now let's check the text and that we finish. Okay. We had to complete with one word. Motivation. I'm going to ask some of you to help me read, please, because my throat is a bit hurt today. So let's start. Jessie, can you read the first paragraph, please, over here? Motivation.
Okay. So, teacher, motivation?
Yes.
Okay.
The one here from this column.
Okay, teacher. Welcome to the world of student success. If you're ready to succeed in school, you are in the right place. If you read to learn to read better, read faster, study more efficiently, and stay focused in reading, you are on the right path. But what if you have tried to reach these goals before, but couldn't seem to maintain your motivation long enough to accomplish them? What do you what do you do about that? What is an answer?
There is an answer, okay? So we have the answers to, if, to succeed, in the right place, more efficiently, on the right path. Here we don't say if, it's on the right path. What if you have tried, and then long enough? Sylvia, can you read the second paragraph, please?
Okay, teacher, I can see. Okay, yeah. And you may be surprised to learn when you find it. The secret of motivation is between your ears. That's right, is your brain. Surprisingly, your brain is far more capable than you might think. Although it weighs just 3 pounds and it consumes 25% of your body's energy. Its storage capacity seems almost unlimited.
Unlimited?
Unlimited. It has about 100 billion cells that can be communicate with each other, making the potential connection for learning far into the trillions. Yes, trillions.
Literally, okay? So let's see. The secret of motivation is between your ears. It was talking about your brain. So it was not inside. As I wrote here, I made the mistake when I was checking the exam. It was between, right? Between your ears, so in your brain. Your brain is far more capable than you might think, okay? We are comparing more capable than. Although, or though, both were possible. And number 17, they can be communicate with each other, okay? That was the answer here. Right, guys, so that's about the exam. I don't know if you have any questions, if you want to ask me something or give me comments. And let's see. Give me just a moment, guys. Okay, sorry, I have Lisette here, so that's what I was confused. Now we have two Lisettes. We have a new student, a student that came back. So thank you, Lisette. I will call Lisette Liscano and Lisette Tarazon. Thank you. All right. Okay. All right. So I think there are no questions in this part. So now I will check attendance and then we continue with tickets. Now it's time to check it. Okay, let's. Gerson Arismendi.
Hi, teacher. Present.
Hello, thanks. Jean-Claude Barrera. Jean-Claude is not connected. Yesid Calderon.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Natalia Camargo. Natalia is not connected. Okay. Andrés Correa. It is. Silvia Cuellar.
Hi, teacher, present.
Hello, thank you. Elkin Fernández.
Hi, teacher. Present.
Okay, thank you. Julián Figueroa.
Hello, teacher, present.
Hello, thank you. Ginette Fontecha.
Hi, teacher, present.
Hello, thanks. Carlos Galán.
Present, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Mabel Gamboa.
Present, teacher.
Okay, thank you. José Alejandro Gómez. José, okay, José, thanks. Judy Lizeth Liscano.
Present, teacher.
Okay, thank you. And Lizeth Carolina Tarazona. Lizeth Tarazona. Okay, I see you here, but you cannot respond. Okay, I see you're connected again.
Hello, teacher, present.
Okay, thank you, Lizeth.
Sorry, my computer just crashed.
All right. All right, guys, thank you. So, as I was mentioning earlier, we welcome Lizeth Liscano to the program again. I hope that we have a good dynamic during the classes and you enjoy the sessions and that we learn a lot. So, after I finish the presentation, I would like you to share a little bit about you with all the class. We can get to know you. Please don't be shy. You don't have to turn on your camera. Just talk about you. So what do you do? Where do you live? And something like that. Okay. So, but that is after I finish the presentation. All right.
Okay, teacher. My name is Lizeth Liscanoriza. I'm 26 years old. Right now, I am working with Mapollo, chemical analytic. I studied chemical engineering at UIS. And the last cycle, I had some problems with my schedule because I was working and I was studying at the same time, and it was very difficult for me to
Do everything.
pay attention at my job and in my classes, and it was very difficult for me. But right now I have like a more time
Mhm.
to learn
To
more
continue.
improve my level in English.
Mhm. All right. Thank you, Lisette. Very good. Yeah, so she was in the group that is a bit ahead. She started in the B1 level. So that's why she had to retire for a little bit, and then she came back during this cycle to continue with the program. So again, welcome, Lisette. And well, now let's start with the information for this particular level, okay? So let's check. Remember the schedule as usual, 6 to 7:45. Then we have a break, and then from 8 to 9:50. So we continue with 4 hours during these levels, B2.4 and B2.5. Okay, from Monday to Thursday. So I don't know if Lisette has this information. I think it was not shared. So our classes are from Monday to Thursday. We rest on Fridays, okay? So we don't have classes on Fridays. From Monday to Thursday.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Okay.
Just a little different to the last cycle.
Yes, in the other cycle, the other groups, they have 3 hours, I think, and all the week. So in this level, we have Monday to Thursday, so 4 days, and we rest on Friday, but we have 4 hours. And we switch teacher. The other group, the group that is more advanced, it's only with teacher Laura Daniela. Here we switch or we change teachers at for one part of the class, and then we continue with teacher Sandy for the second part of the class, okay?
Okay, teacher, thank you.
All right, so we start level B2.4. Here you have the information for the director, the coordinators. Very important that you remember their emails. This is Lilian Carolina, so the academic coordinator about the exam. If you have problems with Moodle or the system, you can talk to her. And Nancy is for monitoring. So if you cannot attend class for any reason, your job or you are sick or there's no light in your house, whatever reason it is, you can tell her, talk to her, and she will help you with the excuse, okay? To so avoid that you get all the absences during the cycle. So this is her email. So have that information always at hand in case you need it. Ok, en esta parte, bueno, está en español, la asistencia, recuerden que mínima para el programa es de 80% de las clases. Es decir, que perdemos el nivel con 8 horas de fallas injustificadas. 2 días que faltemos sin justificación nos harán perder el nivel, ¿ok? Registramos diariamente la asistencia en el sistema. Nosotras estamos pendientes de quién entra, quién sale de las salas, si ustedes asisten solo media hora o se salen a las 9, a las 7, o en el otro bloque se salen a las 9:20, 9:15. Bueno, nosotras estamos mirando todos estos casos y vamos registrando una hora de asistencia o de fallas cuando esto sucede, ¿ok? Entonces siempre debemos estar muy atentos a la asistencia en el programa. ¿Ok? Información de las profes, Sandy, aquí está el correo de ella, y mi correo, Laura Juliana, aquí lo van a encontrar, ¿ok? Entonces ahí están los dos correos. Nuestro cronograma para este ciclo, empezamos 15 de agosto, terminamos 31 de agosto y vamos a descansar el 1, el 4 y el 5 de septiembre. Entonces, en realidad sería, sí, del viernes a el martes. Regresaríamos el miércoles 6 de septiembre. ¿Ok? Ese sería nuestro calendario para este día. Recuerden las evaluaciones son de 0 a 5. La nota para aprobar es de 3.6 y pues recordemos que debido a este programa no tenemos actividades de recuperación, de nivelación, ni de repetir el nivel. ¿Listo? Se aprueba con 3.6. Realizaremos actividades evaluativas, pues descritas y orales durante las clases. Nosotros no realizamos quizzes con ustedes, pero todas las actividades, las conversaciones, actividades escritas que ustedes hagan en grupos, presentaciones y demás, todas esas son evaluadas para la nota de quizzes. Entonces, el trabajo en clase es muy importante porque tiene un peso de 40% en su nota final. Entonces, cuando ustedes no asistan a clase, es su responsabilidad adelantarse en las actividades, viendo las grabaciones o consultando con las docentes cuáles son las actividades pendientes que se realizarán en ese día. Cada actividad no realizada será calificada con 0,0. Entonces, esas actividades se promedian y esa será su nota de quizzes. ¿Ok? Bueno, como les estaba hablando de los porcentajes, la nota de quizzes de trabajo en clase vale 40%, el trabajo virtual en Moodle vale el 10%, el avance del proyecto vale 20% y cada una de las habilidades en el examen final vale el 7.5%. ¿Ok? Sorry, so then we have the book. Tenemos el libro, continuamos con el Cutting Edge Advanced. En este nivel vamos a terminar el libro con unidades 8, 9 y 10. ¿Ok? Cutting Edge Advanced. Las fechas importantes. La entrega del cuarto avance de proyecto será el 30 de agosto. El examen final del B2.4 será el 31 de agosto. Y la fecha de receso del 1 al 5 de septiembre. ¿Listo? Listo. Vamos a ver sobre el proyecto. I'm going to show you the format for the project. I think, Lisa, you could have some part about the project. In this case, we are working the project individually, okay? It's not in groups. We are working individually. So we already did number 1, 2, and 3, okay? So we are already in the presentation, PowerPoint or Canva presentation with what's the issue, why did you choose it, or why it's controversial, arguments for and arguments against this issue, okay? Now for the fourth project advance, this is very easy. I think, this fourth project advance is very easy for you during this cycle because now we only have to add your opinions and the final or the conclusion to the topic, so to your presentation. You presented to me the pros and the cons, or the arguments for, the arguments against. Now it's time that you give your opinion at the end of your presentation, okay? So that is what we have to add to our presentation. I saw your slides. Let me check here. And they were very good, so well done. Everyone, I think, everyone had good presentation, good slides. So yes, I have it here. In this folder, we have all the activities for this level. So I'm going to send you the complete folder with everything. And here you can check B2.1, B2.2, B2.3. So B2.3, you have the third project advance. I'm going to show you. Okay, so I see, I think it was, I forget, maybe Jose and Mabeli. I couldn't edit your project, the Canva, but I put the grade in the Word document that you sent, okay? So you can check the grade there and the observation there. I couldn't edit your Canva, so I put it here, okay? Mabel and Jose.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Mhm. Right, so remember guys to check your work, make the necessary corrections, and then add your conclusions, your opinions, and then upload it to the new folder for the 4th project advance, okay? So really this level is very easy. Now we are just waiting for the final presentation. Remember that it's going to be between 3 to 4, maybe 5 minutes maximum per student. So we have time for everyone to present it. And maybe we have some questions or comments from the other classmates, okay? So the presentation cannot be more than 4 minutes long for each student, okay? Do we have any questions about project? I will send this document to your email. So for Lisette Liscano, if you have questions, you can write to me through WhatsApp. I can give you all the information there, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Good, so this is individual. You can work alone, just creating your presentation on PowerPoint or Canva, okay? Well, I will send you this. And now let's continue with my recommendation. Mi recomendación era que revisáramos las entregas anteriores para que leamos las observaciones y las notas, ¿ok? Entonces ahí están los enlaces de cada carpeta. Revisión 1, revisión 2 y revisión 3. Sobre el Moodle, ya está habilitado el Moodle. Recuerden el acceso. Ya desde hoy está listo para que ustedes puedan ingresar al Moodle. B2.4 agosto, ya está, grupo 1. Ustedes pueden revisar, entonces si no les aparece, si no están matriculados, me informan, pero vamos a revisar rápidamente así. Creo que no está Lisette, porque entraste, entonces sí creo que no te vi. Dice, puedes revisar si tienes el acceso y si no, le escribes a la coordinadora Lilian Carolina, ¿ok? Creo que no estás ahí.
No, no estoy.
Entonces voy a preguntar, déjenme, reviso, que no se informó ella. Ya le informé, entonces vamos a ver qué no responde. Ya esta información de ahí. Listo, ya el Moodle está habilitado para que puedan empezar a trabajar en él. ¿Qué más información tenemos? Bueno, acá en la presentación tienen todos los enlaces al sistema académico, a Moodle, a las diapositivas. Yo les envié también a los correos instructivos para los libros, para el Moodle y para el sistema académico. ¿Listo? Ok. Entonces, eso es todo con la presentación. Tenemos preguntas. Any questions about the dates, the grades, general information? No, it's everything clear. Perfect. All right, guys. So let's start. As I mentioned before, we are going to start. Yes, Carlos, you good?
Yes.
A question?
Sorry,
I-
teacher.
Okay.
The access book is bad because in this moment load the cutting edge printer
Mm,
88
mm,
and not the advanced version. I have
okay.
this problem in previous course,
Mm,
but in this moment again.
oh,
But I not tried in other navigator.
yes,
But in
on
this
the
moment I
browser.
have this problem.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. Let me ask. One second, I'm going to ask.
Carlos, might be a problem with the cache memory. You can open the link of the book in private window.
Okay, teacher. In another navigator, it already work for me.
Okay, yes, maybe it's your device.
Cache.
It has
Yes,
some things. Mm-hmm.
I resolved the problem.
Okay, thank you, Carlos.
Thank you, teacher.
All right, good. So we are going to start today, unit number 8. Let's check here. So the first part, it is about the unit is called live and let live. Okay, so we're going to talk about characteristics. So vocabulary to talk about characteristics and behavior. And we're going to study for the grammatical part is description of habits, the use of infinitives and ing forms. This is what we're going to focus on unit 8, okay? So we're going to start today with talking about characteristics and behaviors. The first part, the first exercise, talks about types of households or types of families. So to introduce this topic, I want to share this video with you. I found it very interesting and very informative as well. So we're going to watch it and then answer some questions related to the video as you watch along. Okay, so I'm going to give you 5 minutes to watch the video individually and then answer the questions as you go. Okay, let's have 5 minutes and then we will watch it together and answer the questions together. Okay. All right, guys, did you finish watching the video?
No yet, teacher.
Not yet. Okay. All right, let's watch the video together. I'm going to put the video without the questions, so just we can watch it like in one go without stopping, and then we discuss it, okay? So just give me a moment to open the link here. All right, let's watch it together.
My God, did you see the last episode of Gossip Girl? Shannon just found out that
Can you see it and listen to it?
Yes, teacher.
All right.
Rachel is not her real sister, and that she's adopted. Now she's flying to Europe to find her biological parents. I bet it's going to turn out that Antonio from last season is her real father. Why do I have such a boring family? I also want to fly to Europe.
A family is a group of people related to one another by blood, marriage, or a strong common bond. Families come in a lot of different sizes and combinations, and there are no right or wrong ways a family should look. One of the primary roles of family is to love and take care of each other. Nuclear families are families that consist of two parents and their children. Kids who have parents who are gay or lesbian may have two moms or two dads. Some kids have a family with just one parent. These are called single-parent families. Others live with extended families where many relatives such as aunts, uncles, and grandparents live together and work towards common goals like raising the children or taking care of elderly grandparents. A blended family is two single-parent families joining together to make a bigger family. Some families do not have children at all. Some consider their pets as family. There are many reasons why a child may not live with their biological parents. In these cases, the child may become a member of an adoptive family that consists of another blood relative, such as a grandparent. Other times, a family friend or another caring adult may become the adoptive parent. Foster parents are people who may be unfamiliar to the child but want to take care of children who cannot stay with their biological parents. Families, no matter the structure, can be very diverse. One parent may be a different ethnicity or race than the other, or two parents may have different religions. And in blended, foster, or adoptive families, some kids may be a different ethnicity, race, or religion than their parents. Sometimes, as a young person grows up, they create a chosen family. Chosen families usually do not include blood relatives, but instead are made up of friends and other supportive people who take on the role of a family, to love and take care of each other. Of course, families don't always get along, and family members are bound to make you feel angry or upset sometimes. But in the end, their job is to love and care for you. No matter the type of family you have, we hope they give you love and support and make you feel special.
Until next time, don't forget to visit me. Okay, so
Wait, I went to another video, but
we have to get you a sword.
That's it. That was about families. So we have all these different types of families, right? We have the nuclear family, extended, single parents families, foster, adoptive, etc., etc. So I have a question here for you. This is to give your opinion, to have a little discussion about what are the most common types of families or households in Colombia. Okay, so we have a word here that is household. It's not the same as family. Household, it means hogar. So we can have a household with friends that we don't necessarily call our family. They can be roommates, housemates, okay? This is a part of a household. They are not a family, but they are a household, okay? So I want you to go to the link, and in the link, you are going to give me your opinion by ranking or organizing these types of households from the most common, it's going to be the first, to the least common, is the sixth in Colombia, okay? So you can select number one, housemates or adults who are not related, single parent household, single people living alone. So this is only one person living alone. This is a single household. Extended family. Remember what is extended family? Who are the participants of an extended family?
Teacher, extended family. Sorry.
Grandparents.
Okay, let's listen to Silvia.
An extended family is the one who, which is like, what is a conformado?
It's constituted by, we can say.
Constituted by different relatives. Like,
yes. So it's not only the parents, but
yes,
you can have aunts,
grandparents, great
grandparents,
grandparents, or also uncles or
uncles, aunts,
yes.
cousins. Yes, this is the extended family. So household means the people that live under the same roof. This is a household. Okay, so these are the options. I want you to organize them from the most common to the least common. Okay, go to the link, please. I'm going to start checking your answers here. Okay, I'm checking your answers here. You think the most common is a nuclear family, then the single parent household, extended family, childless couples, housemates or adults who are not related, single people living alone. Let's wait a little bit for other answers. Okay, I see your votes over there. No? All right, 11 students already voted, so very good. I think this is our final answer. The most common is a nuclear family, so this means parents, both parents and the children. Then we have extended family. It means cousins, uncles, and grandparents. The third spot is a single parent household. So only one mom or only the dad can be. Childless couples, and the last two spots are for adults who are not related, housemates, and single people living alone. Yes, I agree with you. This is not that common here in Colombia, especially that people live alone because it's more expensive and so on. So I agree with you. This is like the most common nuclear, extended, and single parent. Okay? Excellent, guys. Very good. Thank you for sharing your opinions. All right. Now that we discussed this, I want to check or discuss these questions with you, and I want to hear your opinions. Okay? The first question is, do you live or have you ever lived away from your family? Under what circumstances? If not, would you like to? So please raise your hand if you want to participate with this question to give us your opinion. Do you live or have you ever lived away from your family? Under what circumstances? And if you haven't, would you like to? Okay, we can have volunteers to share their opinion in this part.
Me, teacher.
Okay, Julian, go ahead. Thank you.
In my country, Venezuela, I
Mhm,
think that the most common type of family
mhm,
was nuclear families
mhm,
because in the past years, the situation was better to move along with your couple and make a family.
mhm.
But in the last some years, for the situation, I think that it has been changing. So maybe extended families and
Mhm,
multi-generational households
mhm.
and could be more common because uh, now it's more difficult move with your couple and many people live with their parents or something like that.
Grandparents. Very good.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Julian. Yes. So let's see. Well, this is about this part. Very good. But now let's answer about this one. I want to hear from you if you have lived away from your family. I think, Julian, you also have this experience because you were living here alone or with family in Colombia.
I live
Mhm.
alone. I live alone
Okay.
in a room. Yes.
So how do you feel about these circumstances? Do you wish to live with your close to your family, or no? You prefer living alone? Tell us about your feelings or your opinion about this topic.
At beginning, I think that I could feel better, but uh, mm, uh, if when was past the time was passing the time, and you are feeling the loneliness
You feel loneliness, you feel alone.
loneliness, yes. So when some uncles, some families and were dying, you will
You feel
you
sad.
go, yes, you feel sad and you go mm, uh, take more valor. I don't know. I can say giving mm, valor to their families. I don't know.
What do you
Como
mean?
dándole valor a la
Okay, to
familia.
give courage or strength to your family.
Okay, so courage. Okay, so you then you want, for example, now I will like live closer to my mom, to my families that live in Venezuela.
Yes, it's difficult to live in a city alone or without your family being close to you. It's very difficult. It's a very difficult situation. Thank you, Julian, for sharing. And does anyone else want to share? So if you have lived away from family, why? Under what circumstances? Yes, Lisette, Liscano.
Yes, teacher. Last year I was living in the United States, and I have to live away to my family. And this experience is very, I think it's exciting in the first time when you arrive in the United States, but at the end of the day, you always miss your family. And I'm I think I miss that because right now I'm in Colombia and I miss the privacy
Yes.
and
Yes.
and and independence that you have in the United States.
The independency that you had. So, yes, thank you, Lisa. This can happen. When you move away from family and then you come back, you start to miss those things that you had living alone or living with your friends, right? You're more independent, you have more privacy, you can go out more, and nobody's questioning you, all of this, okay? So it can be difficult. You miss family, but also you miss these things that you used to have. Okay, very good. Thanks. And right, the second question that we have now, let's think about some advantages and also disadvantages of living alone or with friends and not with family. So Lizette already mentioned two, privacy and independency. Any other, for other students who can think of any advantages of living alone or living with friends?
Teacher, I've never lived alone,
So what
but
do
I
you think
think
would be an advantage?
but about the disadvantage, I think is the prepare food. Yes, because
Yes.
I know how to cook, but for me, I don't know, I'm very lazy and yes. So thinking about that, maybe it's like maybe you don't have time because you have to work, and it's very different because before your mother or I don't know your father uh, uh, help you to to prepare food or they prepared your food, but now you have to do it. So I think it's
Yes.
difficult the difference of the
I
first
agree.
time.
I agree with you. Yes. Gerson, you have an opinion?
Yes, teacher.
Mhm.
I would like talk about advantage. One more advantage I think is you get out of your comfort zone and feel the need to try harder to get your achieve things. Have a clear vision about your future, about your life, and don't depend only your parents or your friends, and learn about the other person.
Yes, very good. So when you live alone, you have to start learning new things, right? How to do this or to survive on your own, not depend on your family, your parents. So yes, I think it helps you grow as a person, to improve also as a person. But yeah, some disadvantages can be like cooking or cleaning the house because you have to do it all yourself. Cook all your meals and then wash all your dishes and all of this. So it's like a lot of work to live alone. All right, excellent, guys. So that's about this part. We are going to see some new words, some vocabulary here. And we're going to read these descriptions of people, some characteristics of people, either they extroverted or more introverted, irritable, all of these characteristics, okay? So we're going to check the meaning first, and then after we check the meaning, you're going to answer or put the numbers. Number one, if you would this would get on your nerves, like this would stress you out, okay? Remember this expression, to get on my nerves. This annoys me, this angers me, okay? Number two is for not great, but it wouldn't bother me. So it's like a middle point, right? I don't like it, but I don't hate it either. And number three is I would like to live with someone like this. So we have a list of characteristics and then you're going to classify them. One is really, really bad. So never live with a person like this. Number two is middle point. So it's not great. I don't like it, but I don't hate it. And the third is I would really like to live with a person like this. Okay. So let's check the vocabulary and then you can do this part of the exercise, okay? Let's start checking it.
Teacher, which page?
This is page 77 in the book, page 77.
Thank
okay,
you.
but we're watching the slides now to check the meaning of the words, the new words that we have, okay? So let's start reading. Carlos, can you read the first two, chatterbox and the second one?
Okay, teacher. Chatterbox is a person who likes to chatter or talk. The second one, if you can keep yourself to yourself or keep to yourself, you stay on your.
Sorry, I have a mistake here. Let me fix it. If you keep yourself to yourself, that's it. If you keep yourself to yourself.
Okay, teacher. If you keep yourself to yourself, you stay on your own most of the time and do not meet socially with other people. He was a quiet man who kept himself to himself.
So these are the first two expressions. Chatterbox is used to define a person that really likes to chat or talk a lot, okay? You can see here, he is a chatterbox, okay? Another expression is to keep yourself to yourself or to keep himself to himself. This means that this person is reserved and does not mix socially with others, not very much, okay? So you can say, I keep myself to myself, like I'm reserved, I don't have many friends, okay? This is the meaning. Elkin, for the next two, please. Mess around and crack jokes.
Mess around, behave in a silly or playful way. He lay there snoring. So I thought he was messing around and told him to get up. And crack jokes, to tell a joke.
So to mess around is like to behave in a silly way, playful way, okay? How can we say in Spanish to mess around? To mess around is to behave in a silly way or playful.
Be relajado.
Not exactly. This is a verb, okay? It's an action.
Perder.
Mess around, like molestar, right? When you mess around with others, it's like you're behaving playfully, telling jokes, making sounds.
Like como hacerse el gracioso.
Yes, it's something like that. Yes. Molestar a los amigos, okay? To mess around. Yes, exactly, Jose. That's the expression, to mess around. You can see on the chat. So to crack a joke is to tell a joke, okay? That's the same. Jeanette, for the second, the next expressions, short fuse and laid back.
Hey, teacher. Short fuse, a tendency to lose one's temper quickly. And second, laid back, relaxed and easygoing.
So short fuse, this is a character called short fuse. And this is also in Spanish, it's used this expression. When you tend to lose your temper, so you get angry quickly or very easily, okay? How can you say this in Spanish? So you have a short fuse. I'm going to write on the chat. Lisette wrote, yes, this is it. Have you heard about this expression? Yes or no?
No, teacher.
To refer to a person that gets angry easily, you have a short fuse. Yes, it's similar to that, Jessie. Then we have laid back. So this is quite the opposite. You are relaxed, easygoing, you don't get worried about anything, right? This is your laid back. This is also an adjective. Okay, let's continue. Gerson with gets to you and highly strung.
Okay, Tish. If something gets to you, it makes you suffer. The heat was beginning to get to me, so I went indoors. And highly strung is very nervous and easily upset. Highly strung horse.
Yes, okay. So this expression, to get to me, if something gets to me, it means that affects me or makes me suffer, okay? So the heat wave was beginning to get to me. It was starting to affect me, okay? So I went inside the house, okay? This is the expression, to get to you. And highly strung is to be very nervous, easily upset, like altamente nervioso, ¿no? De nervios sensibles, highly strung, okay? And the last one I will read and then we continue. And to live on your nerves, okay? If someone lives on their nerves, they are continually worried and anxious about the situation that they are in. So they are similar, but they are not the same. Highly strung means that you get nervous and upset very easily, okay? The other is that you are continually worried and anxious about a particular situation. So I am living on my nerves. So it means that I am constantly nervous or worried about this, okay? All right, so no questions about vocabulary. Okay, good. So next part of the vocabulary. Wait. Let's continue. Jose, please read neat, freak, and fussy.
Yes, teacher, neat freak. Someone who likes things, especially their home, to be extremely tidy and clean, and who spends a lot of time cleaning. Fussy. Fussy?
Fussy.
Fussy? Okay. Fussy. Fastidious about one's needs or requirements, hard to please. He is very fussy about what he eats.
Yes, so a neat freak is a person who cleans a lot, is extremely tidy in their home, okay? Very clean, a neat freak. And fuzzy, as you can see here, the child in the picture is someone that is very hard to please, fuzzy, okay? We can say quisquilloso in Spanish is the correct word, fuzzy. Okay, Julian, please read the next, all over the place, and do your share.
Okay, all over the place, in many different areas or locations, everywhere. And do you share to contribute work to that of others in a group?
So all over the place is what you understand, everywhere. It's in many different locations, all over the place. And to do your share is like to do your part is the same. So to contribute your work to part of a group, okay, of others in a group. So for example, at home, we can say, I do my share of activities, like my part. For example, my share of work is to clean the floor, okay? So that is my share. I have to do it, okay? My part of the work. And then we have overbearing and unwind. Lisette, please, Liscano, overbearing and unwind.
Overbearing, unpleasantly, overpowering. He can't wait to get away from his overbearing parents. Unwind, yes, that's the correct.
Unwind.
Relax after a period of work or tension.
Very good. So overbearing, this is like unpleasantly overpowering. It's like covering you so much that is overbearing. In Spanish, the word would be like despota, like someone over controlling of you, right? Overbearing. And then unwind is to relax, relajarse, relax after you have a lot of work, then you unwind, como desconectarse, right? Unwind. Lisette, Tarazona, lounge around and to sulk.
Okay, teacher. Lounge around. To spend your time in a relaxed way, sitting or lying somewhere and doing very little. We spend our days lounging around the pool. Lounging around the pool. And sulk and be silent and bad-tempered out of annoyance or disappointment. He was sulking over the breakup of his band.
So to lounge around is, you can see the picture here. Spend your time relaxed, sitting or lying somewhere. This is to lounge around. To sit or to lay, relaxing. And to sulk, this word is difficult to translate in Spanish. Is when you are silent and in a bad mood. You are annoyed or disappointed of something, okay? It's but you're not expressing it very loudly. You are silent, but you have a like a sad face or annoyed face, okay? That is to sulk. And finally, we have Maveli, please, opinionated and outspoken.
An opinionated person is certain about their belief and expresses their ideas strongly and often. Outspoken, frank in stating one's option, especially if they are shocking or controversial.
Yes, so to be opinionated is that you express your opinion, your ideas very strongly and very often, okay? Opinionated. And then it's outspoken is to be frank, say franco, frank in your opinion, especially if it's shocking or controversial. So these are a little similar, right? You share your opinion strongly and loudly to everyone, even if it's shocking or controversial, okay? So we have questions about the vocabulary in this part. Nope, it's clear. All right. So now we can do the practice on the book, guys. So remember, page 77. We are going to see. Remember, number one is really bad. This would really get on your nerves. Number two is middle, not great, but it wouldn't bother you, no te molestaría. And number three, you would like to live with a person like this, okay? So for each activity. A chatterbox who likes constant company, someone who is a bit awkward socially and keeps themselves to themselves. So you read them individually, put the numbers 1, 2, 3. So when you are ready, we will read them together and you will tell me your opinion. Well, for number one, for example, me, chatterbox. It's not great for me, but it wouldn't bother me, okay? So in my case, I would write number 2 here, okay? For you, it can be 1, it can really annoy you, or it can be number 3. You would like to live with a person who is constantly talking, okay? So here, all the answers should be different, okay? So let's do it and then we correct it. If you have further questions about vocabulary, let me know, okay? We can solve them. All right, let's check your answers before we finish our class today. So for the second situation, let's start with Yesid. Can you read it, please, the second one, and tell me the number that you selected?
Okay, someone who is a bit awkward socially and keeps themselves to themselves.
Themselves to themselves.
For me, number two.
Number two, okay, so you are neutral about this. All right. Thank you, Jacit. Silvia. For now, the next. Someone who likes.
Wait, teacher. Someone, number what, teacher?
This is three.
Someone who likes messing around and cracking jokes. And for me, second, teacher. No,
Number
great.
two.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Also
Yes.
neutral. All right. Thank you. And let's start, Carlos, again. Next situation.
Yes, teacher. For me, irritable, yes, for me is number one.
Someone who is irritable or on a short fuse. Yes, me too. Number one. Elkin, for the next situation. Laid back.
Someone laid back who never let things get to them. Okay, for me is one.
Number one.
Excuse me, three. Excuse me.
Yes, this is someone relaxed, very calm. Yes, I would like that too. Laid back, relaxed. Okay, thank you. Jeanette, for the next one.
Someone highly strong who lives on their nerves. I put three.
Number three.
Yes.
Okay. Then Gerson. Next, a neat freak. Remember, one is bad, three is good.
Yes, teacher. For me, what?
Number one, you wouldn't like it? Someone who is very obsessed with cleaning.
No,
All right.
I think this person could me help to improve my.
So remember, one is bad. Number three is good.
Okay, sorry.
So number three?
Opposite number.
Okay, yeah. This is one. Okay. Yeah, so it's a bit confusing because number one is the worst. It's like you wouldn't like it. All right, let's go quickly with the others. Jose?
Yes, you're someone who leaves their stuff all over the place and won't do their share of the housework. One.
This is one. Yeah, this is terrible. Okay. Julian, for the next, someone overbearing.
Someone overbearing and arrogant who won't listen to other people's point of view. Number one, teacher.
Yeah, number one. This is also very bad. Okay, thank you. Lisette Liscano, next.
So someone hyperactive
Yeah, hyperactive.
who never sits down and finds it difficult to unwind.
Unwind.
Number two.
This is two, okay, not so bad. Okay, Lisette Carolina, next.
Someone who lounges around doing nothing for hours on end. For me, two, teacher.
Number two, okay, good for you, not so bad also. Maveli, next, someone who sulks.
Someone who sulks rather than saying what is on their mind. Teacher, maybe two or three.
Okay. Okay, you number two, so neutral about it. Okay. And Sylvia? Someone opinionated?
teacher, wait.
You can do the last two, Silvia. Someone opinionated.
Okay, someone opinionated and outspoken. For me, neutral.
Two.
And the last one is one.
Okay, someone unpredictable. It's bad for you. The mood changes apparently. Okay, very good. Excellent, guys. So we can finish with that today. And maybe tomorrow we can do the listening that we didn't do today. So you will be back at 8 with teacher Sandy, okay? Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye, teacher.
Thank you, teacher. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.